Okay, so in this video we're going to start designing a website for one of our clients. Now this website I'm actually doing it is for one of the clients I have at the moment, so this is going to be the kind of first draft of a potential design for them. Just to give you a quick bit of background about them, the lady who I'm designing the site for runs a small business where she makes and sells like terrines and parfaits and pâtés and things like that. So she's got a kind of farm shop where she sells these items, and she's looking for a website to showcase her products, and then eventually she wants to be able to sell from the website as an actual more of an e-commerce site. But at the moment she's just looking for a small website, I think it's about 6 pages, just to showcase the site. Now she's given me some ideas of other sites that she likes that are in a similar business to hers, and using that I've come up with an idea that I think she'll like, drawing on from the fact of what she does and the inspiration that she does quite a bit of work in her kitchen and what have you, making the products. So we're going to use that as this kind of jumping off point. Now this is probably a wee bit different from the other types of sites you might do, because depending on the client every site will be different. You may have gardeners, driving instructors, dentists, plumbers, you name it, and each one will want a slightly obviously a different style of site. So this one is a bit more different probably from what you'll see normally, but thought it'd be a good idea to see the types of things that you can do with artistry and with a bit of imagination. So the first thing I always do when I'm developing a new site for a client is I start with GIMP, because what I like to do is I like to plan out my sites sort of visually first, almost on a bit of paper, and then I normally mock up the background first. If it's going to be a site that's going to be quite visual like this one will be, then I normally start with the background and decide what the background image will be. So what I always do is I normally go to GIMP and open up a new image, and the width I want is 1500 pixels by about 1100 high, and we'll make it background transparency. Okay, here we are here. And then what I like to do is I like to set some guides. Now normally most of my sites, just because it's the way I prefer to do it, I normally have the sheet width, which is a bit in the middle, as you'll see when we come to do it, of about 1000 pixels. So I just like to set some guides. I'll put in a new guide, and I'll put in the guide at 250. And another one at 1250. Okay, so this middle section is going to be where my sheet will be, so where the main content of the website will be, and the other side here is where the background image will be, or the main part that you'll see. But the idea I've got for this lady is that we're going to have the surface essentially of a chopping board, with a recipe book at the top. Now if you're doing a site that's got quite a lot of graphics in it and quite a lot of imagery in it, then you're also going to need somewhere where you can get those images. So in a lot of cases you'll need to get some stock images. So if you go to Google and you search for stock images, free stock images, then you will get a lot of websites that you can get your graphics and images from. Obviously you always need to check the license that comes with the graphic. Some sites you can get them completely free, you don't need to pay anything, and you also are able to use the images on a commercial website. Other sites you may have to pay for the image, but then it's royalty free once you've paid for it. You don't need to keep paying for it, and you can again use it on a commercial site. So always check the license. I've got a website that you can check out as well for stock images. rgbstock.com is quite good. A lot of their images are free, but again, as I say, always check the license that comes with the images. Always make sure that you've got the rights to use it in your site and in your client site. So it's just something to be aware of. So for this particular site, I have a background that I want to use, which I've got here. I know this is the type of she's told me this is the type of thing that she likes. So if I select the image and I edit with GIMP, so here it is here. Now it's slightly smaller than the site, so what I like to do is I'll just scale the image and I'll make that the same size, scale that up, and then if I take this, edit, copy it, and then here add a new layer, and then edit and paste that in. So there we have the background, and we'll just anchor that layer down. So now we have the background pattern, and then as I say, what we'll do is we'll get the sort of chopping board over the top of that. So again, if I go to my folder, I like to, all the images that I'm going to use in a particular website, I normally put together a folder and get all the different images that I want to use in the site and put them all together for creating the site template. So here's the chopping board here, and again if I edit that, and you can see here that it again is a bit smaller, so in the wrong way round, because I want that to be going kind of up and down. So all I need to do is image, transform, rotate, okay, and then I want to make it 1000 pixels wide. Actually, I need to crop the image slightly. So if I drop that down to 50% so I can see the whole thing, and then get my rectangle select tool, and then select the image there. Just make sure I've got it right, and then go image, crop to selection, that's better, and then select none, and then go image, scale image, and make that 1000 pixels. There we go. Okay, actually, and then again we'll go edit, copy, and then here again we'll create a new layer and go edit, paste, and there we go. Now we have our chopping board in the center, exactly where we want it to be, and we'll just anchor that layer down, and that is spot on where I want it. Just move that up slightly. Okay, put it there. Perfect. Okay, so this forms the main background of our site. So we've got this background here, and we've got the chopping board in the middle, and this is where the text and the images and the main layout of the site is going to go. So what I'll do is, when it comes to Artist there, I'll make the background of the sheet transparent so you can see the design of the chopping board through it. Or I'll add a very it'll be like a slight transparency. I'll explain when we get to Artist and you'll see what I mean. So what we also need to do is we need to have a header portion. So this is obviously the main body and the background, but I also like to just sort of work out how my header is going to go and how it will look all together as a site. So what I like to do is get a guide, and it's up to yourself how big you want your headers to be. I think for this one we'll do the header about 300 pixels. So if you look to the bottom left hand corner, you can see two sets of numbers, and if you see the one that's going down there, we'll set that to about Okay, about 300 there. Okay, that's quite good. So this will be where the sort of header section will be. So I'm going to have, as I say, a cookbook placed here, and the cookbook will have the logo of the business on it, and some writing on the cookbook just to make it look kind of authentic. And then underneath the cookbook there's just going to be a row of kind of rustic tags, and that's going to be where the tabs for the navigation are going to go. As I say, it's quite in line with the type of thing that she likes, so we'll take it from there. So next thing we want is our book. Oh, hang on, that was the one I made earlier. If we go here, okay, and if we scroll down, there's the book, and if we click edit with GIMP, here it's here. Now, again, slightly smaller than what I would like, so what I'll do is I'll scale the image, and I'll make this about 900 pixels wide. Okay, and edit, copy that, and then I will go create a new layer and edit, paste, and there we go, we can see that there. And then if I just take that with the move tool, don't know if you saw that, let's wee cross there, and just move this up so that it's somewhere around there. Make that a bit bigger so we can see what's going on. Yeah, I think we'll go about there, and we will anchor that layer there. Perfect. Okay, so I think that's roughly what we might want to do. Is we might want to make that a bit bigger. Actually, what we'll do is we'll crop the layer and go layer, crop to selection, and then select none, and then go layer, scale layer. Okay, we'll make this about 1000. There we go, that's a bit better. And we'll see how that looks. Actually, I don't think we'll make it 1000. What we'll do is we will scale the layer to 900. That's better. Yeah, we'll do it about there. Okay. Because I think what we'll do, because that's 1000 wide there, so to make sure we get all the content in, we'll make the actual sheet 900. So what we'll need to do is we'll set a guide here, so yeah, there. That should be it, and then I'll just move that over to about there. Yep. Yep, that should be good. Quite pleased with that. And a lot of this you'll be sort of messing around with your images, just getting their right alignment correct, and working out the best position for it. So the next thing, so we've got the book here. The next thing I want to do is put in our what will be our tabs. I'm going to move that up slightly. Put in what's going to be our tabs. So again, if I go here and where are we? There's a tag. And again, if we edit with GIMP, Okay, and same as before, edit, copy, and create a new layer, and then edit, paste that in, and then what we'll do is we'll anchor that layer, and then what we'll do is crop the layer just to make it easier to work with when it comes to sort of resizing it, that kind of thing. Okay, and then go, once I've selected, go layer, crop to selection, and then select none. So now we can move this about as we wish. So I've put that about there, and if I move that behind the book, I go layer, and where are we? Lower layer, there we go. That's where the first sort of tab's going to go, and then what we'll do is we will go duplicate layer, and layer, duplicate layer, layer, duplicate layer. Now, as I say, there's going to be 6 pages. So that's 3, 4, layer, duplicate layer, 5, and then one more. 6. So we can see there's a sort of rustic kind of feel to it. And then if we just move the book over slightly, I think what we'll do is we will scale this layer to about 950. So obviously a lot of this is visual, but that's quite good, quite pleased with that. Okay, so now we have what we're going to have is our background, then we're going to have the main area where our content is going to go, and then we've got what's going to be our header section. So we've got this cookbook here. As I said, we're going to put some we're going to put the logo here, we're going to make it look like there's writing here as well, like sort of handwritten stuff, and then this is where our tabs are going to be for our navigation for the website itself. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the logo. And if I go to my folder, and now just a quick sort of point to note, when I got the logo from my client, it was in a PDF format. Quick and easy way to fix that: if you go to Google and you put in PDF to JPEG and hit search, the first result will come up. And then all you is PDF to JPEG.net. Just click browse, find the PDF that you want to convert, open it up, select your quality, and I'm going to go with good, and then click convert PDF to JPEG. And after a few seconds the PDF will convert. I've obviously already done that, and it is here as a JPEG, and here's a PNG. Hang on. Okay, there it is as a PNG. Now, when you change a PDF to a JPEG, you may want, as I say, to have a transparent background and have it as a PNG file like I've got here. So the way to do that is if you take your JPEG, and we'll edit it with GIMP. Wait for it to open up. Apologies, my computer's going a bit slow. So you've got the logo here that we're using, and obviously because this is circular, the easy way to deal with that is if you take the circle select tool and we draw a circle around the logo, and just position it within the circle. Just slightly like that, and then go edit. What I tend to do is just go cut or copy, then go file, new, and set the background as a transparency, and then go edit, paste, and then layer, anchor layer, and there you go, you've got your logo on a transparent background. And then just file, export, and give it a name and save it as a PNG. So if you select the file type down here, you can select what type of file you want and save as a transparent background, then save it as a PNG image and say give it a title. Okay, I've obviously already done that, so I'll close that, and I'll close that without saving it. That's fine. So we'll open up our logo again. Okay, now this is quite a size because of the way it's converted, so what we'll do is we'll go image and we will scale the image, and I think we'll scale it down to 250. Okay, and edit, copy, and then if we go back to our original site, create a new layer, and then edit, paste, and there we go there. And then select the remove tool, just position it where we want it. I think about there is quite good. And what I'll do as well is I'm going to put a kind of little rotate on it there. So that's just a rotate tool. Click on the image, rotate it as I like it, click rotate down here, and then layer, anchor layer. There we go. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do excuse me, is we're going to put some text on our book. So if we just move it down slightly, what we'll do is we will select the top layer, select the text tool, and then highlight a section. And what I've got here is just a bit of text, and I'll paste that in. Okay, put that down there. What we'll do is highlight that, change the colour to black. Okay, and we'll align that in. I think what we'll do is just align all the text. And as I say, we'll change that to black, like that, and then we will change our font, and we'll get a handwriting font. Let's see what we've got. There we go, that's quite good. And if I just click out of that, that's quite nice. And if I just take away some of the spacing, like that, that's quite a good size as well. Okay, and the next thing what we'll do is I'm going to rotate this text so it goes in line with the book. Just rotate it like that slightly, rotate, and then just move it. There, like that, that's quite good. And then what we'll do is we'll just move that back to where it was, and then move the text layer up as well. That looks quite good. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, that's getting there. And then the last thing I'm going to put is a little bit of writing in here. Because the business name is quite unusual, the lady who wants the site wanted a kind of dictionary explanation of this word here. I can't even pronounce it. So I'm going to put that kind of handwritten in there, which will look quite good. So I just need to move the book up a wee bit more like that. Move the text up a bit more like that. There we go, that's a bit better. Yep, I'm quite happy with that and how that's looking. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll get the last bit of text. Okay, so this is a bit of text that the lady wants on her site, just as I say, an explanation as to what the type of business is. So if I copy it, and we'll see if we'll fit it in. And then what we'll do is we'll create a text layer, then we'll try and put it sort of here. We'll paste it in. Now, quite a lot of information there to try and fit in. It's a bit lost there. I think what we'll do is we won't put it in our header section here. We'll put it in probably the sidebar or something on the main site. So I will just delete that layer. I think what we'll do is we'll just make the logo then slightly bigger. There we go, that's the layer there. And if I just crop that. Okay, select none. Right, okay. Now what I can do is I can now make that slightly bigger. So if I go to the layer, scale layer, in fact I'll just use this section here, make sure it's joined, and then just drag it out a bit. There we go, slightly bigger, slightly more prominent. I'll just put it around about kind of there. Okay. How is that looking? And if I go to view, and there we go, take the guides away, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So there will be the tabs, and the content will go in here. Okay, so what I might do is I might add some stuff to the side here, just sitting alongside the chalk board, that kind of thing, but we'll see how we go. I think what we'll do now is we'll take this and we'll put it in artist here, and we'll see how it looks. Now, in order to do that, what I need to do is I'm going to create two sections with this. So this is the sort of main design of the site, and I'm going to split this into two. I'm going to split this into a background, which will be this here, and the board, and then a header, which will be this section here. Okay, and the way I'm going to do that is what I'm going to do is I'm going to deselect that. So I click on these eyes, which just leaves the sort of chopping board in the background. And then all I need to do is I need to go to File, Export. Before I do that, what I'll do is I'll just quickly save this, okay, and give it a name. For example, now I've already done this, but and then click save. That way everything will still be there. And then if I want to export that, we'll just go File, export and give it its name and export it to PNG. Click export, that'll put it into the folder. Okay, and then the next thing we want to do is we want to take what will be our header and we'll put that in as well. So if I just get my dialog boxes back and put these back in just by clicking the eyes, and I'll deselect the background this time. Yep, that's fine. And if I view my guides, what I'm now going to do is I'm now going to crop the image to the header. So image crop to selection, and then what I'll do is I will export that as, give it a new name obviously, and as the header, so website header, because what I want is I want it to have a transparent background so it sits over the background layer. So if I click export, and then what I'll do is I'll do it twice, because what I'll do is that's a full width, and then I'll also crop it to here, which is the sheet width as well, while I figure out which one's the best one to use when it comes to the site. That way it gives me options. So image, crop to selection, and then again export, give it a different name. So okay, there we go. So that's us created relatively quickly a background that we want to use for our site and the header image that we want to put over the top of the site. And what we'll do is we'll put them both into Artisteer and we'll see how that looks, and hopefully if that looks good, then we can style the content and then we can create a theme from that. Okay, so in the next video we will take those images we created and we'll put them into Artisteer.